Hey, what it do, people? It's your boy, once again, the Bold Lion Label boss, with another entrepreneurial video, right? And today's video is called Entrepreneurship Freedom, right? Freedom. But, okay, you say freedom, but this is America, right? We're free. This is land of the free, home of the brave, right? Right? You are free, but to a certain extent, right? You're free to a certain extent. You know, a lot of us, the status quo, we want to gain freedom of time and freedom of money. You know, financial freedom and time freedom is what the main goal is. For me, I can speak for me, all right? Because, you know, here in the United States of America, you know, we are marketed a lot of things. You see what I mean? A lot of material goods, vehicles, cars. That's the American dream, right? You know, a nice home, nice family. That's the American dream, right? You see what I mean? In order to get these things, you need money, right? In order to get these things, you need money. So that's where they got you. They got you by the kahunas. You see what I mean? So as a result of that, you have to trade your time for money, right? You have to trade your time for money. So this is how it goes, right? This is how it goes. This is why in America, we're not so free. We're not as free as what we would like to think. We have to trade our time for money. That money we trade for goods. And these goods keeps us in this bind. Sell us the American dream, right? Great marketing. They sell us the American dream. You want the house, you know, you want the car, you know, you want the 2.5 kids, you want the dog, you know, that sort of thing. You want nice furniture, you want nice clothes, you want all these material things, these things, but those are the things that hem us up. That hem us up in life, that hem us up in this society, in this capitalistic society that keeps us burning our time by slaving away so we can pay off these debts, okay? So what they've done is like they've made these items very high, you know, very expensive. You know, vehicles extremely expensive. You know, housing extremely expensive. Rent extremely expensive, especially now with the current financial climate, with this hyperinflation and stuff going on. Things are even more expensive. So because they're expensive, you have to get these things on credit, okay? You have to get these big ticket items on credit, meaning that you're going to get the item now and pay for it later. Pay for it in installments, you know, with time, okay? And that right there is what keeps you in a bind, okay? You're a slave to your lender at all times. It's biblical. The Bible says that. So, you know, it's true. It's very true. Think about it, you know, religiously. Think about it, common sense, right? You know, you're a slave to your lender. So, you know, you're going to work to pay these things off. Going to work, pay these things off. You're bounded by the monetary things that you've bought, and you're killing your time, you know, with that. You see what I mean? So I am not a fan of that. Time is the most precious thing we have here on this planet Earth, okay? All right? So you want time freedom, okay? Being an entrepreneur, you know, allows you, once you get to a certain level now, this is not just automatic, you know, you get an EIN number and boom, you got time freedom. No, it does not work like that. You have to get to a certain level, okay? There's levels to this, right? You have to get to a certain level to where you start experiencing time freedom, okay? So with time freedom, you know, you are basically, you know, a master of your own time. You see what I mean? Which is the most important thing we have here on earth. All right. Life is time. You know, time is life. So that's the most important thing. And you don't want a job, you don't want money to be robbing you of your time. Okay. It's very important. So you have to be at a certain level of entrepreneurship for you to be able to be free of your time, free to have time freedom. You want to be able to, during the day, go wherever you want to go. If your child has an event, you can go. You don't have to ask a boss or your employer if you can take time off. You understand what I'm saying? When you do have time off, you're not penalized monetarily. You see what I mean? So time freedom is a very, very important thing to want to attain and gain with entrepreneurship. You want time to be able to do what you want to do in life with no constraints, with no constrictions. If you want to go on vacation, boom, you're out of there. If you want to go to a certain place, boom, you're out of there. That is a very beautiful thing. You don't have to work as hard. Life doesn't have to be so tough. Life doesn't have to be in such a rush. You're getting up early in the morning, taking a bath, taking a shower, rushing. You got to get the kids to school. You got to blah, 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 blah. That right there is stress on the body, is stress on the mind, and you want to eliminate that. And that is the status quo of what we've got going on in this capitalist system, right? So you want to be free of time. An entrepreneur is a rebel with a cause, because we are trying to get time freedom. Time freedom is one of the most important things that you can attain and gain in this life, because life is time. You don't want to be in a job or in a situation to where you're always watching the clock and you're wanting your time to go quicker, to waste off, because you're trying to get this painful experience of a job over with. That right there is like, that's an abomination, man. It feels like an abomination. You want to be in your own time element. You want to be in your own maybe workplace or your own job place, to where you can play the music if you want. You want the time to be able to spend with your loved ones. You want the time, just time freedom to do as you wish. This is why jobs like DoorDash and Uber are really taking over, because they're giving you time freedom. There's not as much time constraints as you have with a regular 9 to 5. These 9 to 5s, man, they tell you, when you can clock out, when you can clock in, when to go on break, how many breaks did you have, how much time did you have on your break. It's like, that right there, the freedom from that is something I cannot explain. Okay, I cannot explain. I'm at my shop when I'm working. I've got Netflix going, I've got YouTube going. I work at my own pace. It's such a freedom. I can go out on break whenever I want to. I can shut down whenever I want to. I can go wherever I want to go, vacation wise, right? I can do whatever I want to do. My time, I bought back my time. With entrepreneurship, I bought back my time, and it's like buying back freedom. I'm telling you. So go with entrepreneurship just for the strength of that, because life is time, right? So the second piece to this is freedom from money, monetary freedom. Okay, we want monetary freedom. Entrepreneur wants monetary freedom. All right. And of course, like I said earlier, you're not just going to get an LLC and boom, you're free monetarily. No, it doesn't work like that, right? There's levels to this, right? There's levels to it. So you have to be at a certain level of entrepreneurship to where you have the monetary freedom, and so you can do things that you want to do. You see what I mean? Here in the United States, right? This is biblical. It's biblical. The Bible says that, we are slaves to our lenders, right? We're a slave to our lenders. And that is what this society is all about. And that is why I'm against the status quo. And that is why, I am the rebel with that cause, with the cause, right? The biggest asset in the United States of America is you, right? Is the people, all peoples in the United States of America and companies, have a social security number, okay? This social security number is what they use to track you, to see how much revenue that you're generating so that they can tax you, all right? So each individual in the United States is taxed, and that's how the government gets their revenue. You see what I mean? Like as soon as you're born, man, or as soon as you naturalize as a citizen or whatever, you get that social security number, and that number is you have now become an income generating asset to pay off the United States debt. Okay? And that is the system. You have to make money. You have to make tax money, or else you're a burden on the system. You understand? You have to make money. Even companies are regarded as people. You get your EIN number, and you are an income generating asset to the United States of America Corporation. Okay? So, in essence, the system is rigged for you to make money, for you to spend your time making money to pay off the debts of the United States of America. You're basically what gives the United States of America's printed money value. Okay, because that's the only way that the United States generates income. You see what I mean? Well, not the only way, but one of the ways. Okay. All right, through taxes. I remember back in the day when I was young, when I first graduated nursing school, young guy, about 23, 22 years old, the first thing that I went to buy is a Benz, you know what I'm saying? Because, being young, dumb, and full of, full of hormones, I wanted to get the girls. You see what I'm saying? So I saved up about 12 racks. I told my dad about it. Like, look, my dad, shout out to my dad, he loved Benzes, you know what I'm saying? So he had a whole fleet of Benzes. I'm like, yeah, of course, apple don't fall too far away from his tree. I wanted a Benz too, like my pops. You see what I mean? So first thing I went and bought is a Benz. I told him I had 12 racks. He's like, Linka. He's like, look, invest this money. Invest your money, do this, do that. I'm like, no, Dad. I want these O's. I want these chicks, man. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I did. And that was the biggest lesson I learned as far as, being a slave to your lender. Because when I got the Benz now, you know what I'm saying? I got the girls, you know what I'm saying? I was doing my thing. I got some friends here on Facebook that will verify, you know what I'm saying, what I'm talking about. But as a result of that, I had to be at work. I had to be on time. I was no longer a master of my time. I was no longer a master of my finances. That right there taught me the biggest lesson financially. From then on, I never financed a car, okay? I never financed a car. I buy big ticket items, cash up. I don't care about the credit system. You see what I mean? Because the credit system is a slave system. You just don't know it. They might as well rename it the slave system. But, that was the biggest financial lesson that I learned. If you ever had $30,000, $40,000 in cash, a lot of people would not buy, a vehicle. You see what I mean? So it's because it's not worth it. It's a depreciating asset, but that's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. If you had 200 in cash, you would not buy that house because it's not even worth it. It's hyperinflated, the value is, and it's a whole scam. Look, I don't even want to get into all that, but the credit system has you financially in debt and financially enslaved. That's one of the reasons why I'm drawn to entrepreneurship. It's to pretty much be a rebel with a cause, because I'm not satisfied with the status quo. I need my financial freedom. I need my time freedom, and these people, these large corporations are robbing us of our time, of our money. And it's like modern day enslavement, man. It seems like, so, to buy back your freedom, entrepreneurship is a way to go. You see what I mean? Don't get me wrong. I like things. I like the baller shot collar look, that lifestyle and everything. To do whatever you want to do and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, the main reason that I'm doing this, I'm speaking for me, is not to buy things perpetually necessarily, but it's just for freedom. That time and money freedom is priceless, and I just can't even. It's like a runaway slave coming to tell the slaves in the South, like, look, man, there's a better life out there. I mean, it's harder, it's more work, but that in itself is self-fulfilling too, So entrepreneurship, rebel with the cause. What's the cause? It's financial freedom and also time freedom, and those two things are just irreplaceable in life. You just can't put a monetary value on that. All right. So like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you guys for tuning in for another episode, and we will see you guys later. All right. The next time. Peace. What's up?